Hello there, everybody. Happy Wednesday and welcome to Higher Self Wednesday. My name is Karen White, and I am the author of this wonderful book called Changing Your Game Plan, which is my 12-step journey on how I work the 12 steps. I had 4 sponsors over the period of 34 years that have really taught me a lot about working the steps, and I put it all together into a workbook, and I've done that quite a few years ago. I've been working this concept that's in this book now for years. In the last 5 years, I just kind of tied it together, and I knew in my mind I wanted to share it with you. It has just helped hundreds of people, probably thousands of people over the years that I've helped work through the steps and etc. It is a workbook, so it's meant to work with your sponsor or clergyman or somebody that has worked the 12 steps, because you always want somebody that you ask to sponsor you or help you that's a little bit more ahead of you so that they can walk you through the program. It is a wonderful book. I'm going to be hosting a total workshop and conference in January. We don't have the final dates yet. We're going to make the announcement the 1st of December. And as soon as I do, I'm going to let you know first. So I will let you know when that's going to take place. The book is available on Amazon.com. It's wonderful. Thank you for all you guys that have bought it and all the comments that you have on it. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. For anybody that wants to reach me, you can on Programchild.net. It's right there for you. There is a section where you can fill out any comments. If you need speakers, you need me to speak, or you want to ask me questions or whatever you need, just fill that out and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So I'm so excited. We're on step 11. I mean, have we been having fun? I mean, our literature is just so, so wonderful. I'm teaching. I am a double winner. I'm in both sides of this program. I'm in the addiction side and I'm in the non-side. So for you that don't know what that is, the addictive side could be AA, NA, Overeaters Anonymous, Sex Anonymous, Stealers Anonymous, Debt Anonymous, Gambler Anonymous, all these. And on the other side, they have what they call the non-programs, and those are the family and the friends that are of the addictive one, and that's Al-Anon, Nar-Anon, any of the codependency has a non, any of the addictive programs, most of them do have the non-side. And I am a double winner. I'm in both of them. So I'm speaking to you at the level of both of them. I believe without a shadow of a doubt that the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous is the key. No matter what program you're in, that's where the steps come from. And you should all have that book with any other literature that you have. But the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, I think that it should be read no matter what program that you're in, because that's where our understanding comes from. That's where all these 12-step programs have gotten their steps from. So you want to know how they originally wrote them, why they wrote them, what they mean. There is so much understanding in the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous for, I don't care what program you're in. And with understanding, and the only way that we change is with understanding. So I love it. I love the Big Book. I have more than one copy. I have all the versions of it. They're all written up. I just love the Big Book. The 4 books that I use in here and the 4 books that I use all the time to sponsor and that I read from, not that, the other literature is not good, but I just use the original 4 books. On the addictive side, I use the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, the AA 12 and 12. On the non-side, I use the Al-Anon 12 and 12 and the Al-Anon ODAT, and that's what I've been teaching of. So I'm excited about this. We're on step 11. And you know how we get to step 11? We work steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? And you come to step 11. But a lot of people believe, and I am one of those people that believe, is that is the only step that is taken out of sequence when you first come in here, because when you come in here battered, you sought through prayer and meditation, and you start praying, and we start talking to you about prayer and stuff. So step 11 is kind of a step that's taken out of sequence at the beginning and talk to you. But then to finally work through it, you have to get to steps 1 and 10. So I'm excited. Let's get started. I'm only going to hold you for about 15 to 30 minutes all the time. These videos are available to you on Wednesdays at noon. They will always be posted on YouTube. So enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. And also share these videos if you know somebody that, you know how we are. We think people need the program. So if you think they need the program, share the video. Tell them about them. Link them to the videos. They're yours. Use them however you want to use them. And of course, you listen to them over and over again for yourself so that you will, get this down inside of you. So let's start step 11. Now, one of the things that you know that I do is I love to know the definition for every word in the step. I'll never forget, my second sponsor was the one that started making me look at the words in every word in every step. And she was just adamant about that. Get the dictionary, write it down, find every word. There's a meaning to every word. The reason that the first 100 people, Bill Wilson and Dr. Bob, they chose every word precisely in here, because all the way that these words are put together gives us the understanding we need to get that water down in us to, get everything out of us. So step 11 says, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, praying only for the knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. I love this step. This step, even just reading it, it sounds like, prayer, spiritual, it's just awesome. The word sought means past tense and past participant of seek, to go in search or quest of. Sought, quest of. Thought, despite the fact that, although. Sought through. So through means, I said thought, through means despite the fact that, although. Prayers mean the act of making a reverent petition to God. And means a logical operator that returns a true value only if both operands are true. Isn't that interesting? And meditation, a devotional exercise or a leading to completion. Meditation. To means in a direction toward, so as to reach. Improve means to become better. Improve, to become better. R's means, and I love the R's and the we's and the us, as I always say, that lets me know in this program, and that was so important to me, that we are not alone. R means of, belonging to, or associated in some way with us. Conscious means having an awareness of one's environment and one's own existence. Sensation and thoughts. Having had an awareness of one's environment and one's own existence, sensations, and thoughts. I love the part that says the awareness. That's awesome. It says contact, connection, or interaction, communication. With means in the company of accompanying. God means my understanding. As means when taken into consideration in a specific reason or form. When taken into consideration in a specific reason or form. We means refer to all people or people in general. All of us. Yes. Understanding, to accept something as an agreed fact. Understanding, to accept something as an agreed fact. And understanding is so important because I always say that you don't change unless you understand. Him means his or her imperial majesty. And when you take all this together and you go down this list and you just say sought, in search of a quest, thought, despite the fact, although, prayers, the act of petitioning to God, it just gives you such an understanding of the power that is in this step. And once we understand it the way that it's broken down here, just that understanding alone changes you, because it just brings such a power in you to just see exactly what this step is saying to you. And it's just saying to you, sought, in a direction, to means in a direction toward or to reach. Sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscience, having an awareness of one's environment and one's own existence, sensations and thoughts. Contact, connection or interaction, communication with God. And then it goes on to say, as we understood him. And that is so important, because when taken in, as means when taken into consideration in a specific relation or form, we refers to all people in general. Understand, to accept something as agreed fact in him, imperial majesty. Her or him, her or his imperial majesty. Beautiful. And then it goes on to tell us, but now we're changing this thing. When we come in here, we're praying for us. We're praying for the circumstances. We're praying for everything. Now we're praying only for the knowledge. Praying to God. Only for the knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. Just such a powerful step. I love that. I'm going to share a couple of more things with you on that definition. That's really important. And I have folders and folders and folders full of information on these steps. Let's go to the second part. Praying. To make a devout or earnest request for. Only. Standing alone by reason or excellence. For. In place of. The. To the extent by that much. Knowledge. Specific information about something. Of. So as to be separated or relieved from. Isn't that something? Of. To be separated or relieved from something. This is how powerful this step is. That, that word of comes in, praying only for the knowledge of. Of, meaning so as to separate or relieve from whatever we're going through. Of his will. His means belonging to or associate with him. Will means self-control, self-discipline. For means in place of. Us means refer to all people or people in general. And means a logical operator that returns a true value only in both operands are true. The means to the extent by that much. To the extent by that much. Power means the ability or the capacity to perform or act effectively. To means in the direction towards so as to reach. Carry means to communicate and pass it on. That means that one kind of thing something, and out means to a finish or conclusion. Oh, so powerful. So powerful. Last week, we finished in the big book, and we moved to the AA 12 and 12. And I'm going to just recap a little bit because it's very important. In the big book, in step 11, this is what we learn. We learn, make no request in prayer for yourself only. Never pray for your own selfish ends. Select and memorize a few set prayers that emphasize the principles of the steps. Ask your priest, minister, or rabbi about helpful books and prayers that emphasize the principles of the steps. Be quick to see where religious people are right and make use of what religious people have to offer. We learned that in the big book last week. And if you didn't see that video, it is the one before this one and also the one before that. So there's two videos that are kind of in the big book. So go back and look at them and hear it. But today we're going to start, and I'm going to jump around in the AA 12 and 12 a little bit. I'm going to go to where I specifically have notes about things that have changed my life and share them with you. And I'm going to share them with you. I'm going to either read the sentence around it, I'm going to read the paragraph around it and give you some explanation, and we'll try to get through as much as we can in the next 10 or 15 minutes. And then what we don't get through, you know how that goes, we continue on the next week. So I ended on page 97 of the AA 12 and 12, and I ended where it says in the middle of the second paragraph, this is what it says: of course, we finally did experiment, and when unexpected results followed, we felt different. In fact, we knew different. And so we were sold on the meditation and prayer. And that we have found can happen to anyone who tries. I love the original literature of AA. It is just so powerful, because I feel like even though you get the promises of step 9 and 10, I think it's just specific to let you know that if you do what we suggest for you to do, you will get it. It is no ifs, ands, buts about it. And this is talking about meditation right here. It's saying, of course, we finally did experiment, just experimenting with these steps. That's what they're saying, just experimenting. And when unexpected results follow, in experimenting, unexpected results follow, we felt different. You feel different just by coming in these rooms. Just think about just the literature, just reading. When you're working through the steps, okay, and you're working through them, you feel different and you become different. And it says, in fact, we knew different. And if you look in the AA 12 and 12, that's in italics. It says new, different. And so we were sold on meditation and prayer. And it says, and that we have found can happen to anyone who tries. All you have to do is just try working these steps. Just try. Get a sponsor and just start working them. You feel so much better. I mean, the steps changed me so quick that I had no idea until I started looking at some of the relationships around me, and I just started seeing how after all these years I was getting along with people that I used to didn't get along with, and talking different, and not the way I felt, the way I slept, the way I ate, the way I thought. I mean, it was unbelievable. They worked in me so fast, and they still are ahead of me and still working in me because I practice them every day. I receive them every day, into my day, into my hours. Not perfectly. I mean, that's what they're there for. They're there to help us, but they're there to help correct anything that we do. But it's just peacefully doing them and being able to make mistakes today and say, oh, I got this. 10 step. Just make amends if I have to make amends. If I don't, I made a mistake. And, just go on. Learning how to walk and go on. And it goes on to say on page 97, the last paragraph, I'm going to read this whole thing. Those of us who have come to make regular use of prayer would no more do it without it than we would refuse air, food, or sunshine. That's how important prayer, the big book says. Prayer is that important. It's up there with air, food, and sunshine. And it says, and for the same reason, when we refuse air, light, or food, the body suffers. Now get this. Oh, I just love this stuff. And when we turn away from meditation and prayer, we likewise deprive our minds, our emotion, and our intentions of vital, needed support. Now it's talking our mind and our emotions. That's what we need prayer for. And I always say, check your head, check your head. And it says, as the body can fail its purpose for lack of nourishment, so can the soul. It says, we all need the light of God's reality, the nourishment of his strength, and the atmosphere of his grace. I love that. It was so real to me how much, when all those years that I lived without prayer, and now I'm afraid. If I go through the day, if I wake up suddenly, and that's very rare for me, but sometimes I wake up and I can't pray that second. But from that moment on, and I can't pray because I understand this part where it says, and the body can fail its purpose for lack of nourishment, so can the soul. I know that if something happens and a water faucet breaks or something, I have to jump up and I take care of something. In my mind, I'm like, I got to get to prayer. I got to get to prayer. I got to get to prayer, because I know that at any time that I can lose it if I don't start my day off functioning. And I always take, even if I have to do it in bits and pieces when things change, but that's very rare that it changes, because most of the time, I would say at least 80% of the time, I'm on a schedule with that, and it happens exactly when I need it to happen. And it goes on to say there's another part of this that I want to do. I want to read page 98. I think I'm going to read the second paragraph, and then I'm going to talk about this because I have a lot highlighted under this. It says, it goes on to say, there is a direct linkage among self-examination, meditation, and prayer. It says, taken separately, these practices can bring much relief and benefit. Now that's separately. But when they are logically related and interwoven, the result is an unshakable foundation for life. The two of them, unshakable. That means no dismay. No dismay. No shocks, no nothing. You just kind of go, Because at this time, you've worked 1 through 10. And so now you're learning to live with things on life's terms. And that's not your terms. Yes, you continue. I still continue to plan my day. I could plan what I'm going to eat. I plan what I'm going to wear. I plan what I'm going to do. I plan even the simplest thing used to set me off. I remember I would plan like what I was going to eat. And then something would happen. I get a phone call and I had to run out of the house. And then all day I'm frustrated because I didn't get to eat what I wanted to eat. These were anything that I could have a reason to hold on to say, since I thought I was this little God, that I could control everything, to get mad about and to have a tizzy tantrum about. I would hold on to that stuff. Today, I just run out of the house and go, God got this. God got this. Not my will, his will be done. And wherever I eat or whatever I eat, he's got this. And just go with the flow. When you flow like that, it says the results are unshakable foundation for life. Unshakable. And as long as I do my prayer and meditation and I stay with my prayer and meditation, I'm unshakable. It's only when I don't do it and I don't stay with it. And this is a daily thing. One day at a time, as our slogans say, one step at a time, 1 hour at a time. It goes on to say on page 98, and then we'll pick up next week. I'm going to read the last paragraph. It says, the actual experience of meditation and prayer across the century is, of course, immense. The world's libraries and places of worship are a treasure trove for all seekers. It is to be hoped that every AA who has a religious connection will emphasize meditation, will return to the practice of that devotion as never before. Beautiful. Just beautiful. We're going to stop there. We'll pick up there next week. We have so much to cover. My goal is to one day just teach workshops on one step at a time because there's so much to these steps and they're ongoing, and we could study them word by word and then turn around and still learn. I mean, it's just always something to teach us. So thank you so much for letting me into your day, and I hope you enjoyed it. We've been having so much fun with these steps. And remember, go to meetings, get a sponsor, read your literature, pray, and get healthy. And until we meet again, blessings over you today, great people.